Speed.
First of all, thanks everyone for coming. I appreciate Harold putting on this with the help of Dave Myers and of course you, Dave.
Yeah.
We got 5 days. Everybody should be voted by now, 5 days from now. It's kind of exciting because the crap we've had to put up with is something that I thought I would never experience in politics. When I ran the first time, none of this was here. We ran on what we ran on. Good policies. Now, all it is my eyes gibberish. His platform, simple. He's all negative. Nothing he says is the truth. Nothing he says makes sense. But now, all of a sudden, he sees what I'm talking about, and now he's going to make the school safer. He's going to have active shooter. Well, he should look at the board because active shooter is going to happen early next month. Maybe he should take a picture of that. It's right in front of his office. Apparently he doesn't know that. He talks about morale. Morale's been the best it's ever been. When I came in, everybody was held accountable and no favoritism at all. The promotions are based on merit, not how many years you've been there. If it's merit, years of service, this guy is exactly like the younger person. Of course, the guy with more experience is going to get it. Because he's got the same merits, same experience, same drive. That's important. Next, PDs, horrible relationship. That's interesting because I have a chiefs meeting every month with these guys. And we get along, in their words, the best it's ever been. So I don't know where he's coming up with this. But telling half truth or no truth, how does that make you better than me? How does that make you? He's not even fit for prime time. He can't answer simple questions. Give me 3 constitutional amendment rights. Okay, super simple. You learn that in what, 5th, 6th grade? And you don't ever lose that because you're told throughout your entire life, these are your rights: freedom of speech, right to bear arms, due process, right against search and seizures. Right? This race has turned into nothing but a bashing on me. I've been trying to keep it simple and just stay straight. This is what I'm running on. Think about it. Have I not kept the people of Waupaca County safe? That's what I took the oath for. Every sheriff I know what takes the oath, they support your constitutional rights. Protect, and they serve the community in the best way they can. If that means taking a civil complaint and being the mediator, that's what we do. We just don't walk away and say, you know what, that's civil. We don't deal with it. Yeah, we do. And that's what I told these guys. I instilled in the young guys. When they start 16-week process with an FTO trainer, and that's what they learn, how to treat people and how we handle calls. It's not, sorry sir, you had something stolen, fill this form out, we'll see what we can do. Chances are we won't find it. Where did I just get that from? Someone who dealt with my opponent when he was on the road. That's exactly what he told Sandy and I. And if that's the type of leadership Waupaca wants, well then, I guess he's going to win. But I don't think that's what Waupaca wants.
Definitely not.
No. So, again, 5 days, we're going to be victorious, win, and we're going to try and get this DA to do her job. Not see if she can run the sheriff's office through whatever she thinks is right. How about prosecuting your cases instead of opening 80 cases and subpoenaing me for no particular reason. And in the end, the judge says, the sheriff obviously knows nothing. But I've just been through the thrashing machine with the assistant DAs who subpoena me. I'm supposed to be their witness. But I'm badgered, asked if I'm hard of hearing, treated like a criminal. And then tell me I'm not a constitutional sheriff because I don't belong to this constitutional group, which I'd never heard of. So this is the type of procedure the DA decides is the best for Waupaca County. I don't think so, and I don't think anyone should think that. She took the oath just like I did. Protect and serve. That means prosecute the cases that are at hand. Should we really let someone that shoots another person still sit in jail a year later? I don't think so. But no, she wants to run my sheriff's office. And it's personal. Because people she likes, unfortunately, didn't decide or decided not to follow policy and procedure. That's not my fault. But what is my fault is holding them accountable. And it's not going to happen. That's why I was elected. So I appreciate everybody coming. And let's hope this 5 days flies by quick. The guy continues to badger me. He's putting on there now, just wait, I got more information. I don't know how much more information he can put out there that's not a copycat of what he just did. So I guess we'll wait and see.
It's all just ratio.
Thank you, folks.
Thank you, Sheriff.
I'm Chris Martinson. Those of you that don't know me, I'm Vice Chairman of the Republican Party. I was active as a Republican Party in 2016 when our DA threw her head in the ring to run for DA. And the predecessor of Sheriff Wilz recommended her highly to the Republican Party. And we accepted her with open arms, and she said that she was Republican in belief structure. And so we, people that know me know I'm always getting out signs for conservatives. So she gave me a pile of signs, and I put quite a few of them up in the New London area for her. And as the campaign, she would call me and say, Chris, you need any more signs? How's it going out there? Do you need more literature? And then we find out that when she was assistant DA in Portage County, she signed a petition to recall Governor Scott Walker. And so it raised questions in all of our minds. Is she really a Republican or not? So she met with, I wasn't on the executive committee then, but some people met with her, and she said, yeah, I was younger then and not very wise, and I don't believe that anymore. I believe Walker's the one, and to prove that, she told me, take a Ron Johnson sign and put it up on my husband's farm in just down the road on 54, but over in Portage County, and so she fooled us. There's an old saying, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. She figured she could trick us twice. So the guy she picked to run also just happened to have signed that same Walker recall petition, Mr. Durant. And I don't know about you, but I didn't hear him apologize for that.
Chris,
When he spoke.
it wasn't just that either. Basically, this would be the third time that she's tricked us, because once she was in, she signed the nomination papers for a Democrat for judge. Yeah. And we confronted her on that and said, what the heck? Well, I think she must have said the same thing, well, you know, I don't know how everything works, and I didn't realize that I couldn't do that, but I won't do that again.
Yeah. Well,
So, like I said.
Yeah.
when she was running, she was really easy to get a hold of on the phone. Okay? After she was elected, she doesn't return my calls anymore. And I'm not talking about calls to call her out on why she's attacking her sheriff. Just simple calls like, would you come to a Republican meeting and tell us what's going on in the DA's office as far as things we need to know? That's before there was any controversy. You know?
Right.
Would you buy some tickets to the Reagan dinner that is our fundraiser? Would you say even a few words at that dinner? You know, and she has never ever returned a phone call. Not even when later on I filed charges against the president of the New London School Board for violating open meetings, and I filed charges, and the Attorney General gives her 20 days to respond to those charges. That was December 1st, and she hasn't, you know, so not only does she not respond to the Republican Party and just in polite calls to get some help, she's not even doing her job to that. I'm getting too much into the detail, but anyway, it seems to me she's not very smart either, because if you're picking a guy to run against our sheriff who stood up for the Constitution, you know, why would you pick somebody that's so obviously a Democrat and try to run as a Republican? She thinks we're very dumb here in Waupaca County, that we should get fooled not once, not twice, but 3 times. So that's all I got to say about it.
This chief,
That was a disappointment.
yeah.
I'd like to add one more thing before I turn it over to my wife. This is all over a report that supposedly was changed by my captain. Her true intent was they had to hunt my captain. But she got me instead, or also. But she doesn't mention to anyone that back in 2020 when this all took place, she said, I need an outside agency to investigate what happened. I said, absolutely. We got Outagamie County. A lieutenant came in, did his investigation, sat down at my desk and said, Sheriff, we have nothing here. So was I supposed to tell that lieutenant, I don't believe you, and go somewhere else? That's not how it happens. She gets that copy of that report, doesn't say anything about it until 2022, and then it's no good. So how is it no good to her, but it's good to our office and the office that performed that investigation? Tell me that. Is she above the law, as she says I say I am? She cannot follow the law. So I needed to tell you folks that, because that's never said about the investigation. We even called the DCI to do an update. Come on in, investigate us, but we certainly want you to investigate her. Which they came in, they investigated us, and it's been 14 weeks we haven't heard a word. They didn't even know the true intent of the investigation. They didn't even know they were supposed to go over to the DA's office. That's what they said. So who's lying here? I'd like to know. So, thank you again. Thank you.
To add to that with Tim, they keep using the words changed and altered, and said that the sheriff had said those words. If you watch the video of, unfortunately, Channel 2, that they were blindsided, that didn't even know that they were invited to this courtroom case, Tim never said changed or altered. He said they corrected. And if we all work in the business world, we know that a first report is a draft, you know, and there are corrections that are made until it's done. So they keep twisting the words around of what really happened here to benefit their agenda. And unfortunately, some people buy into it. I hope that not everybody believes that, because the Sheriff's Department, first of all, why as a person that works the sheriff's department, why are you tearing down the exact department you work for? Why are you tearing down the trust within law enforcement? Why are you building into or paying, working into that distrust for the police of Waupaca County and the sheriff's office? As a person that works for the sheriff's office, that just is beyond comprehension to me. Yeah, you might have disagreements about something, but you don't tear down the employer you work for. I'm not saying Tim, I'm saying Waupaca County Sheriff's Department and law enforcement as general. Why are you doing that? That just doesn't seem right to me. Totally wrong. You are building up this animosity and dislike for who's meant to protect you. So why are you doing that? That doesn't make sense. But so enough of that. We love and thank you so much for supporting Tim. Thank you so much for supporting law enforcement. That's the thing here that's on the ballot is your Waupaca County law enforcement, not Tim Wilz. Law enforcement. Stop the hate towards law enforcement, especially stop the hate towards law enforcement within law enforcement.
Yes.
And don't allow that to happen anymore. And don't let that happen here in Waupaca County. Stop them. The best thing you can do is talk to your friends, talk to your family, squash the lies, squash the untruth that is being put out there for somebody else's benefit. Tim has been upfront and honest with everything that has happened here. He has said, yeah, we corrected a report, right? He said, we corrected it. Never has he lied about that. Please don't let them twist that around. Talk to your family and friends. Don't let them take down law enforcement. Don't take down the respect that we have here in Waupaca County for law enforcement. So thank you very much. Thank you for coming. Again, can't thank you enough for hosting this for Tim and for Waupaca County law enforcement on a whole, because that's very important. And on a side note, there's one more parade. It's on Saturday, Scandinavia. If anybody could come and help us, we have families that can't make it. We have Tim's kids that are committed somewhere else. Yeah, friends of gone to Sturgis. Yeah, so we have a lot of people that can help us that are family and friends in the area. So if anybody can come help us, walk in the parade. I've got Wilz for Sheriff t-shirts. If I don't have enough, come in a red shirt, just so people would know that you are part of the Wilz for Sheriff. So we would appreciate anybody's help. It's at 10 o'clock in Scandinavia is when we have to start filling up.
And then the parade starts at 11.
And the parade starts at 11, so yeah, we gotta sign up. So anybody who can help us, greatly appreciate it. It's a short parade. It's not the Manna parade that takes 2.5 miles. This one is pretty short. And then I'll treat to some popcorn. I know popcorn. Popcorn would be nice. I'll treat to some corn as Scandinavian corn goes afterwards. So again, thank you everybody, and thanks for supporting Tim. We appreciate it.
Last question, I want to say thank you to Tim. And my memory is just totally terrible. Tim's wife, Sandy. It takes a really special wife to be a wife to a man in service. I very much understand that through military service. Shelley understands that through all the stuff that I go through. Thank you very much for that, being supportive of your husband. It's absolutely amazing. And I want to thank Tim for being the example that he is to our children, to us as adults, to being able to withstand everything that's being thrown at him, stand with broad shoulders, and be proud and not buckle, cave in, not be throwing insults back, and running a good, super clean campaign. That is the best thing you can do. It shows honesty, it shows the integrity. And his co-workers that work for him are just absolutely amazing. The way he runs that department, the way they speak about him, we couldn't ask for a better sheriff. Probably the best sheriff that Waupaca County's ever seen. So thank you very much, Tim.
Thank you.
Thank you. So that's all, like was brought up. Talk to your friends, explain to them what's going on, and sit down and have conversations, explain the truth to them. Might have to bring out the lies, try and do it with decency, and don't be bashing, because that is not the way to go about doing things. It just creates more anger. But explain what's going on. You know, explain how good Tim is, the composure that he's had, and just the lies, blatant lies that are coming out of his opponent, and try to open people's eyes to those lies so they see what's going on. Thank you, Kevin.